What's up everybody and welcome to another edition of AGR's Pop Culture Reviews. Yeah, you waited roughly 14 and a half years for the official sequel to Kingdom Hearts 2. Think you can wait another week for my official review. For many millennials, Kingdom Hearts was really kind of a rite of passage, and in many instances it was the first time they were exposed to an American-Japanese RPG. For those of us of Generation X, our first real experience with the Kingdom Hearts series was probably in our freshman year in college. Either way, whatever generation, we both had a great time with the original Kingdom Hearts games. This is a truly beloved series with an almost cult-like following, and I remember on the original X-Play, Adam Sessler and Morgan Webb would be constantly pelted with questions about when the sequel was going to come out. It was kind of a running joke on that show. Well, it's been nearly 2 decades since the release of Kingdom Hearts 2. And the big question here is, does this game measure up? Is it worth all the hype and wait? Or are we going to be clouded by our feelings of nostalgia for the original games? Well, that's one of the questions I'm here to answer. This is my official review of Kingdom Hearts 3. Let's take a closer look. Okay, so one thing I have to get off my chest from the beginning is the fact that this game, although loaded very quickly, took forever to start. I mean, I felt like it was going to be another 14 years before I actually got to play the damn game. And don't even get me started in how many title screens there are that tell you that this is a Kingdom Hearts game. And that's to say nothing about how much Disney is branding themselves. Disney, we know that this is your license. For God's sakes, let us just get into the game. And finally, after what seemed like the longest music video in the history of gaming, we get into some of the action, but there is a bit of a caveat there because early on in this game it gets bogged down in so much exposition. I was getting antsy to play this game, and I guess it was because it's been 14 years, but I was so impatient this time around. It got frustrating as hell, let me tell you. And there is another component that is really messing this up. Now here is a real kick in the ass. I can't stand turn-based RPGs. I'm sorry guys, I know I'm probably gonna get a lot of shit for that, but I just can't stand them. I need my freedom and I need control of my character, avatar, whatever you want to call it, at all times, especially when it comes to combat. Now this game is not turn-based, but it might as well be with the incredible amount of cutscenes, even worse than Metal Gear. It's like you take 2 steps, cutscene, enemy, then you take 2 steps again, another cutscene. I mean, holy shit. And dear God, there are tutorial menus for everything. Now, I understand if they're gonna teach you combat maneuvers. I mean, it's been 14 years, so I understand I need a refresher, and I certainly did. But they just pop up for anything, and it is frustrating as hell. Now, even though I was complaining about them, they are important because believe me guys, this game does play like the older Kingdom Hearts games. Now, that might take a little bit getting used to. It's certainly a steep learning curve for me because I am so used to the modern configurations, and the control scheme here are the old school configurations. So definitely take part in those tutorials guys, otherwise you're really going to get your ass handed to you in this game. And trust me when I tell you that this control configuration does take a bit of getting used to. It's simply not intuitive to the way that we play modern games. Things like jumping, blocking, and attacking is all hardwired in our head, and I kept mix and matching buttons. And sadly, after looking forever in the menus, I couldn't see a way to remap these buttons. Now, those minor gripes aside, and I do have to talk about it because it could be an issue for some players, I absolutely fell in love with Kingdom Hearts again, and it's not just nostalgia. This is a really awesome game, guys. Once you get past all those old school problems that maybe some of the other games we didn't realize because we were so young when we played them, and gaming was different back then. Now, one of the staples of the Kingdom Hearts series are the RPG elements, and they do make a return here, but they are streamlined and, ironically enough, more intuitive. I really love what they did here in terms of the menus and being able to use potions, upgrade characters, and really customize all of the characters within the Disney realm. It's actually really cool, guys, and I found this so smooth and so satisfying. Just like in previous games, the key to success here is being able to upgrade their armor, their weapons, and most importantly, their special magic abilities. Now, one of the refinements that I found personally awesome was the ability to create shortcuts with your bumper toggles, and you can call up these abilities on the fly. Now, obviously, because of the update in the graphics, this game is incredibly beautiful and really works hand in hand, especially with the Disney animation style. And because of it, the performance here is buttery smooth. I love the way that you're able to traverse these worlds, and things like having the ability to scale certain walls and just run up the side of them without any glitches was always something to behold, and it never got old. Now, the voice acting in this game is kind of hit or miss. It was pleasant to see some of the original actors in the films reprising their roles, and for the most part, they did an excellent job with the dialogue here. Unfortunately, Sora and the characters that you control deliver their lines with a very monotone and no sense of urgency, and it was really jarring, especially when the dialogue would go back and forth between the two characters. I don't know why they did this. They maybe should have invested a little more in character actors for the protagonist, but it was really glaring, guys.
It's just you. Maybe.
It's just us? Even for you, that's cold.
Don't forget, I can always turn up the heat!
Wait! If Hades is here, then where's her?
What is everyone's infatuation with that stone? You know what, never mind. Never mind, I'm cool, I'm good.
Of course, at the core of Kingdom Hearts, it's not only its overall narrative, but most importantly is the gameplay, and this is where Kingdom Hearts really shines. The combat here is just as satisfying as it's always been. In fact, it's a lot more fun this time around. I have to say the combination between your melee attacks, especially your special magic attacks, are seamless and quite inventive, and it's just a really great experience. Additionally, in combat, you're not just mashing buttons all the time, and there's enough variety in terms of QuickTime events, and I mean good QuickTime events, that really break up some of the monotony in terms of the combat, and they are pretty fun. Don't worry guys, you're in control of your character the whole time. Boss fights in Kingdom Hearts 3 are really awesome, and they range from mid-tier bosses to these giant gargantuan behemoths that you have to take down. This game will test your skill.
Gotcha! You're done! Sorry! You're done!
Admittedly, I've had kind of a love-hate relationship with Disney in recent years, but I have to admit this game went beyond nostalgia for me. It conjured up memories of going down to the Blockbuster and renting Kingdom Hearts in between classes that I was taking or exams that I had to finish. Many millennials may have fond memories of the anticipation they felt of getting out of middle school, rushing home, and opening up that save file in order to continue your game. Kingdom Hearts will always have a special place in our hearts, and because of it, it crosses generational boundaries. Regardless of whatever period you experience the original games in your life, it's something that we can all relate to. It's something deeply ingrained in our soul. Perhaps it's an innocence that we want to cling on to and hopefully never lose. Now before I go, I just want to thank F&B Collectibles Incorporated for sponsoring today's video. Alright everybody, so that's my official review of Kingdom Hearts 3. As always, I thank you for tuning in, and I'll see you on the next AGR's Pop Culture Reviews, and until then, I'll see you around the kingdom.